Okay, so for this lesson, it's a review of place value. Okay, I think you guys have done place value before. And so today we're going to review it a little bit. And if you remember, place value is where the numbers go. Okay, which order the numbers go in when you're talking about a number. Okay, so it tells you for 1 and 2, like it wants you to write the 6 in the ones place, the 4 in the thousands place, the 9 in the hundreds place, the 0 in the tens place, and the 1 in the 10,000s place. How many of you have heard of these place values before? Okay, and how many of you feel like you could probably do this? Okay, alright, so I'm just going to review this a little bit, and I'm going to use an example, and I'll kind of draw it out like they have it on the chart here. They have five blank spaces. Okay, the space most to the right here is the ones place. Okay, this space here is the tens place. Okay, here is the hundreds place. Here's the thousands place. Thousands. And here is the 10,000s place. Okay, does this make sense to everybody? Give me a thumbs up, a thumb sideways, or a thumbs down, please. Okay, great. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. Okay, some of you may remember at the beginning of the year when we talked about numbers, I told you in a number there's an invisible decimal point that always goes after the ones place. How many of you remember me talking about that invisible decimal point? Okay, for what's coming in this unit, you're going to need to know about that invisible decimal point after the ones place. I'm just mentioning it again now. I'm not going to talk about it today, but I am mentioning it because you're going to see some things coming after this decimal point. Okay, I want you to know that because there are other places that are actually smaller than 1. Okay, and that's kind of where this unit is going. But before we can get to those other places, we've got to know how to do these pieces. So if it said, let's see, write a 4 in the tens place, you would simply take the number 4 and you would put it right up here in the tens place. Okay, and then their next direction was write a 9 in the thousands, place. Okay, you would simply write the 9 right here in the thousands place. Right now, some of these numbers might be filled in for you. Let's say we had a 3 here. The question might be, what place is the 3 in? Okay, is the 3 in? Well, it's in the hundreds place. Okay, and so if I fill this in, and we'll say 2 at the end. Okay, you can see that this reads 19,342. So each place has a way that you read it. Okay, I think a lot of you are familiar with that, but this is a little bit of review. Hopefully it will refresh your memories if you weren't familiar with it. Okay, now what's going to happen in your work today is it's going to give you the directions of where to write the things. And if it helps you to remember, you can write like I did. You can write the ones, tens. You can do that right along the bottom of those, if that will help you out. Okay, so that you can kind of remember that. And this will be here for you to refer to. But you're going to write these numbers just where it tells you to in each place in 1 and 2. Then you're going to compare the problems. You're going to compare this number and this number. Even though, look, the digits they tell you to write, 6, 4, 9, 0, and 1, they're the same digits, but you're going to be writing them in different places. So if you write them in different places, they're not going to be the same number, are they? Okay, because look, I can do this. Everybody knows in here that this is the number 12, right? But it matters where I write these digits, because what if I decided, oh, I want to put the 2 and the 1 there? Okay, obviously you know this is not the number 12. This is the number 21. Okay, this is not the number 12. It becomes 21 if I move the digits around. Okay, and look, what if I decide to put a 0 in? Then it becomes 210. Okay, and if I put a 0 in here, 102. Alright, so you can't just, say, well, I've got these same numbers, so the number's going to be the same. No, that's why place value is really important. Okay, it could mean the difference between 9,000 or 1,000 or no thousand. Okay, so it depends where you put that. Then, for number 4, it's going to ask you what certain digits stand for. So it's going to ask you, like, the 9 in this one stands for, okay, in this case it's in the hundreds place, the 1, 2, 3 over hundreds place, so it stands for 9 hundreds or 900. That's what that's looking for there. And then here you've got to continue the counts. Okay, so you have to figure out, first you have to find the pattern, okay, and then you have to continue the pattern. Alright, and I think you guys can do that. For your homework, it's actually an extension of that. It's frames and arrows. Okay, but look, it tells you what the pattern is, and you just have to do that pattern. Your first pattern is to add 10, your second pattern is to add 100, and your third pattern is to add 1,000. So look, you start with the same number, but none of these numbers that end up in these blank boxes are going to be the same. Because you're changing the place value of a different place each time. Okay? Is this making somewhat sense to you guys? Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down. Want to kind of get an idea? Alright, thank you. So we are going to get some practice with that today, but this is our review of place value for Unit 5.1.